So, Eric, in terms of your own the trucking company, and talk about the contrast from, like we said, from the Trump administration versus what you see now.
Okay. The big difference in my business is fuel. The cost of fuel last year, $43,000 in fuel. You know, under the Trump administration. Previously, that number was like $34,000.
Right.
You know, so fuel is my biggest expense, and it's hurting the trucking, and a lot of people have the optics of truckers being a big business, you know, but it's small business. Average fleet size is 8 trucks, small business, and it's really strangling the small business owner.
And what about the fact that they want you to go to all electric trucks within a short period of time, and
Exactly.
it doesn't work because
No.
of many things, but it doesn't work. What about that?
The infrastructure won't support it at all. It's antiquated. There's hardly places for trucks to park, diesel trucks, let alone charge electric trucks. I don't see how that's going to work. And just the cost of them. You know, like I was talking about, California, it was leading this push under CARB, California Air Resource Board.
Right.
Their goal is to ban electric trucks in the state of California, basically to bring the goods in, set up cross-dock operations, and the electric trucks dispersed out through California. And blue states, California's leading the way, but New York, New Jersey, Illinois, they're all starting to go down this same road. And it's just going to drive up costs even more for the consumer.
And the economy just is not the same, and inflation's been eating your heart out, hasn't it?
Eating more than my heart, that's for sure. Yes, feel it.
So sad. Go ahead.
So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
thanks. Then I'll pivot over to Carl. Carl, you know, you do a lot of huge projects. Of course, proud of you. In terms of, you remember in the Trump administration everyone used to hear the word permits, procurements, and what did that look like, and how much cumbersome and how much time that tied into money of just waiting and this layer and all the bureaucracy. What do you see back then in the Trump administration when it becomes, and we're talking about regulation cuts,
Yeah.
what does that look like now in the Biden-Harris?
So in 2019, 2020, a permit with the government would normally take 72 hours to receive it. So if we went for a permit on the 15th of April, we'll have it, you know, later than the 18th of April, which meant we can bill on mobilization
Right.
and get paid fairly quick. Now, a permit will take us anywhere from April the 15th to May the 15th. We won't receive it until after the 15th of May, which is too long. It's a month, 30 days, so we can't invoice until June the 1st, which for us,
Big difference.
a big difference. We need cash flow. In order to get the cash flow, we need to mobilize, invoice the customer so we can get those receivables. One of the things that's killing us right now is the workman's comp and general liability. I watched it slide up to 25% this year. That's the increase that we're paying this year. Next year it's probably going to be worse. And we're a small business, but not a small business. We currently employ 50 guys, 50. I'm responsible for taking care of 50 individuals.
Right.
Next year, I'm afraid of what that stuff's going to look like when it comes time for the audit.
Well, if we get in, and hopefully we should, all indications are we will, your business is going to be better than ever. We're going to get it turned fast. They're regulating people out of business right now, and I'm hearing it from everybody.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. And the biggest problem is the inflation still. How is inflation affecting your business?
Oh God, it is. It's killing us. It is. It's killing us. It's hard to go back to your customer and increase on them because you're not going to win the job. So you have to eat it and move on. So it's killing your bottom line. The profits, the margins have dropped from when you were in office, 25, 30%. Now we're down to 12, 15. So that's where we are, because we have to eat that part of the gas costs.
And does the customer pay for the inflation, or do you pay for it? Huh?
We pay for it.
Yeah. Sort of both probably, but you pay for it. Yeah.
We can't increase.
We'll get it back. We'll get it back. We'll be back where we were, but better.
Right.
No, that's
Thank
right.
you. Bruce, go ahead.
Okay, so and I'm glad you addressed the workman's comp insurance. That was something we
It's a big
talked
deal.
about. It's big. So I'm going to pivot over to, I know you talk about housing, you know, you real estate guys, some real estate folks in here, in terms of what the contrast during the Trump administration. We had 2.5, 2.8 interest rates at 30-year, 15-year rates, et cetera. I'm going to pivot over to my business colleague Kamala Jones here, who's been in the industry for a long time. I'm sorry, I won't take too long because I don't, you don't look like it, but it's been a while. And so what did, during the Trump administration, I know you've sold millions and millions of dollars worth of homes, kudos, in terms of the culture and climate of, let's just say, black customers that are buying homes versus what you're seeing now, with some of that being 8+% and getting harder to qualify. What contrast from then from what you see now as in the real estate business?
Well, you used to be able to, in the black community, the housing was more affordable.
Right.
Let's just say in the Georgia market,
Right.
they could, purchase something for $250,000. Now something I would say nice for a decent family of four is more around $400,000. And the problem that we're seeing is it's not a lot of down payment assistance programs. They need a little bit more help with down payment assistance or something, because we're talking about nurses, people who are what do you call that? The people who that are in the hospital industry. They're
People with good jobs
with good jobs.
and good money, but they still can't afford to have the American dream, can they?
No.
And 4 years ago, that's what they had. They had the American dream.
Right. And the
I got
interest
it.
rates they're just too
We're
high.
gonna-
I have a ton of buyers that are in the higher echelon, but nobody is selling their homes because they don't want to give up that 2.5 for,
And they
interest
can't get
rate.
the money anyway. Even if they want to pay the high interest rates, and you can go up to 10 and 11%, they can't get the money anyway. We were at 2.4%. Now you're at 10%, 11%, but you can't get the money, so I guess you're much higher than that. It's terrible. Thank you very much. Very nice.
So we do have a farmer here, second generation, Edna Moses here on my right, and we know about cost of food, et cetera. Everybody feels that, and so Edna, in terms of your farms, your supply food chain, whatever, what did you see from, once again, we're doing the contrast from the Trump administration versus the Biden-Harris as it relates to, your debt service and how you